Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Pradipika and today I will show you how I painted this beautiful star lily. So let's get started. As you can see here, I started off with a rough sketch and I'm trying to create a composition of two star lilies in a thumbnail. Once I was happy with my composition, I started creating the sketch onto my watercolor paper. I've used Daler Rowney Aquafine watercolor paper and I've taken a square piece. I'm going to use my COTMAN watercolors and my brushes in size 6, 4 and 2. These are round brushes that I'm going to use. As you can see here, I'm going back and forth with my pencil to refine my sketch. And I'm also trying to draw as light as possible. And after that, also I slightly rubbed off the sketch to make it more lighter. I mostly draw freehand and take a lot of time to refine my sketch. I keep going on until I'm happy with the sketch that I've made. Now I am drawing the second flower in the same way. I have a reference photo in front of me. Actually, it is a photo of two different flowers and I've composed my own composition using those flowers. I have added buds as well as a few leaves in this drawing composition. Here my sketch is ready and I am slightly rubbing off to make it a bit more lighter. This step is important because I know that the painting has a soft pink colors and I don't want my pencil drawing to be visible through my watercolor painting. Now let's start with the painting. I have mixed permanent rose in watery consistency and using my size 6 round brush, I am wetting one petal of the flower each time and filling it with the permanent rose mix one by one. I am leaving the center portion of the flowers white, which I will color later. As you can see here, I'm doing the same thing over and over again for each petal. It's the same process. Wet the petal first with clear water or a bit of tinted pink water and then lay down the permanent rose mix on top. I will let this dry and continue with my second flower. For some color variation for the second flower, I mixed permanent rose, rose madder and a bit of alizarin crimson in watery consistency. And I followed the same process as the first flower, using the wet on wet technique with watery colors. In both the flowers, I've left the center portion of the flowers white, which I'm going to color later. Now I'm going to let the petals dry and move on to the leaves section. For the leaves, I kept it simple. I painted the leaves wet and dry paper with the watery sap green and hooker's green mix. I painted all the leaves with this mix. Now for the birds, I used just the sap green color and painted in the lighter tone. Now moving on to the center of the flower. For this, I mixed cadmium yellow in the already left over sap green color that I had in my palette. In the same mix, I added more sap green color. Using this color, I painted the filaments of the flower. Next, I painted the stamen with cadmium red color. Now using a bit darker tone of the same color, I painted on top of the birds to show gaps on it. Next, I painted the stems in the same darker tone. This is how the flower looks with just single layer of paint. Next, I am going to do another layer for the flower petals. For this, I mixed permanent rose and alizarin crimson colors. I wanted soft transition for the second layer, so for that, I am going to wet a single petal and drop in some color. Also here I don't want the color to bleed till the edges of the petal. So I'm lifting a bit of color from the edges. I will now follow the same step carefully, going around the filaments or the center sticks of the flower. Once this layer is a bit dry, not totally dry, I made center lines in the petals of the flower. I completed the second flower as well in the same way. Now I'm going over the birds. So for that, I'm just painting another layer of light wash sap green on top. This will make the hard lines of the gaps look a bit softer. Lastly, I made dots on the petals. This is the same mix as permanent rose plus alizarin crimson but in a darker tone. And this part is wet on dry. I felt that the leaves were a bit light. Also, to make them look a bit more realistic, I added darker green around the edges where the leaf meets the petals, because there will be a shadow of petal on the leaves as well. Then with my clean brush, I made the color smoother a bit. I painted all the leaves in the similar way. Now I waited a bit for the painting to dry. Now the painting is dry and I added lines in the leaves which are typical of the lily plant or lily leaves. I used my number 2 round brush for this. These are curved lines following the shape of the leaf. Now the painting is complete and this is how it looks. Thank you all for watching this video.